end to insurgency in Nigeria.
Both the legislature and the executive, everybody will be conscious.
Supreme Court reinstates Taraba State Deputy. Police arrest 7 in connection with Thursday's National Assembly crisis as Senate President forgives his assailants. A warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Elizabeth.
Under Damba Basunte. Raising fundamentally the lack of fair hearing, the Deputy Governor, Sani Danladi, disputed the validity of the processes leading to his impeachment at the High Court and then at the Yola Division of the Court of Appeal and lost. But at the Supreme Court, the land's final court held that the lower courts erred by not considering the denial of fair hearing. The panel of 7 justices all agreed that the denial of fair hearing was fatal to the impeachment process and sparked off signs of a premeditated plot to get rid of the deputy governor. Head of the panel of justices, Justice Suleiman Galadima, even described the impeachment panel as a kangaroo panel.
It is most unfortunate that even from the impeachment tribunal, where the chairman and the other member were lawyers, we, the legal committee, were treated as if we were not even their equal. We were treated with disdain, with disrespect.
The judgment of the court is very, very clear. They said the man was wrongly removed and he should return as deputy governor.
With this judgment, both the legislature and the executive, everybody will be conscious.
Impeachment is a fundamental and constitutional way of putting elected officials in check in a democracy. The position of the Supreme Court is that there are stipulated steps to be taken and that any violation of such steps invalidates the whole process. From the Supreme Court, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
And a report just coming in now says the reinstated Deputy Governor of Taraba State, Sani Abubakar Danladi, has resumed duty. Addressing the press shortly after returning from Abuja, he announced the dissolution of all political appointments made from 2012. He solicited support from the people and pledged to tackle prevailing security challenges facing the state and continued the good work of his boss, Governor Dambaba Suntai. Senate President David Mark has restated his commitment to do whatever it takes within the limits of the law to keep the sanctity of the parliament and safeguard the respect of Nigerian lawmakers. A statement issued by his media advisor, Kola Ologbondiyan, says Senator Mark considered the attack on his person by one of the lawmakers in the heat of the pandemonium as a price and sacrifice for leadership. National Assembly correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Giving insights into his visit to the Green Chamber of the House of Representatives during the commotion at the National Assembly, the Senate President explained that his mission was to ascertain the safety of Speaker Aminu Waziri Tambuwal and his colleagues, having received reports that canisters of tear gas were targeted at them. Specifically, the statement said Senator Mark wanted to confer with the Speaker on the need to suspend plenary in both chambers in order to restore the sanity of the environment. The Senate President said he has forgiven the who assaulted him in the process and promised to continue to work together with all his colleagues in the interest of peace and sustainable democracy. He, however, urged political actors to always put the nation first, remain guided by the rules, and restrain themselves from actions that cannot add value to governance and democracy. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Usman Bello Okumo, has adjourned the investigative hearing with the Inspector General of Police on the crisis that erupted at the House of Representatives on the 20th of November 2014. The chairman took the decision following the inability of the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, to attend the session due to exigencies of duties. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Okafo reports. I'm afraid Ifeanyi is putting together the story. I will bring it in the course of the bulletin. In the meantime, the police have arrested 7 persons following Thursday's incident between the police and some National Assembly members. At a press conference Force spokesman CP Emmanuel Ojukwu said the police will leave no stone unturned to unravel the case of the cause of the incident. Bonaventure Nwodo has details.
Rising from yesterday's incident between the police and the National Assembly, the police has again clarified their position, stating that they acted on intelligence to prevent breakdown of law and order. A detailed background that led to build up their intelligence, the first public relations officer explained.
So it's a Thursday, the 20th of November. We had credible intelligence that there will be mayhem at the premises of the National Assembly. And it is our duty to protect lives and property.
As a result of the aforementioned reasons, the police cordoned the premises of the National Assembly and commenced screening.
From the Senate angle, all the senators were checked and they entered the premises, including the Senate President himself. On the House of Reps side, a good number of them came and were screened and they entered. But as the Speaker was entering, he came with so many never-do-wells.
On whether the police informed the leadership of the National Assembly on the action.
Mark my words, we share intelligence with those who need to know. And when he came, he allowed himself to go through the process as a gentleman.
The police also said a detailed investigation is ongoing and the public will be appropriately informed when the investigation is completed. In Abuja, Bonaventure Nwodo, NTA News.
And Secretary, Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Walid Jibrin says dwindling party discipline must be restored to avoid situations that will lead to conflict. Senator Walid Jibrin stated this while reacting to Thursday's commotion at the National Assembly. He said the party must weed out the indisciplined members in its fold.
It is better to have fewer people with you who are law-abiding than to have many that are disloyal and not law-abiding. But how many of us today disown our own party before the opposition, and even to go with the opposition in voting, in taking decisions?
And to politicians who have resorted to making inflammatory statements to deceased as ill wind, he says, blows no one any good.
Regret a lot of things and should not begin to make some statements that will create disunity in this country. It's not life and death.
The Chairman's Police Service Commission, Mr. Mike Okiro, has advocated a civil security force in Nigeria as an imperative to demilitarize internal security management and provide opportunity for Nigerians to be involved in the internal security of the nation. Mr. Mike Okiro spoke as a guest speaker at the 19th anniversary of late Prime Minister of Israel, Yitzhak Rabin, and the Yitzhak Rabin Leadership Award of Excellence in Abuja. The former Inspector General of Police, whose lecture hinged on effective policing and national security, cited the success recorded in Nigeria by the civilian JTF in Borno State in the current fight against insurgency in Nigeria. Mr. Okiro said the example of Borno State can be developed into a strategy and implemented alongside other traditional policing initiatives by the Nigeria Police. Borno State PDP throws away its weight behind President Goodluck Jonathan's 2015 presidential bid as Governor Fayose wills APC legislators in Ekiti. These and more after the break. We'll be right back.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the Hypo treatment to brighten and also kill germs so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
Hypo, Hypo.
Izoke memio urobo wado isoko wado ishekiri dede mokia ani omakwenu I do the Godwin Elumelu hereby invite you to my formal declaration to run for the office of the Governor of Delta State on the 25th November 2014 10 a.m. at Oshimili South Arcade, Asaba.
Come and let us build the future of our state together. Thank you and God bless you.
You are exposed to up to 100 illness-causing germs every day.
I encourage my kids to learn new things, and if they get hurt, I rely on my Dettol to fight germs. It's like my own first aid kit.
My family needs protection from germs. My Dettol disinfects surfaces and clothes, keeping them clean and safe from germs.
About 50 years ago, a child was born in the Ajah district of Ibadan land, named Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde. This child is divinely endowed with philanthropy and kindness to the extent that he cannot bear to see people suffer around him. He has therefore taken it upon himself to touch lives and make impact with various philanthropic gestures, scholarship to indigent students, empowerment, widowhood supports, and countless others.
He has been doing a lot of things despite that he's not in government. He's trying. He has done so many things for the people, bursary award for the students, taking care of the widows.
Support PDP. PDP power. Omititun Igba Ọ̀tún.
Johnny S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved. Johnny M2, 28 days standby time. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved.
It's not a question of place. It's not a question of temperature. It's not a question of dedication. In fact, it's not a question at all.
Energy has to be better. It's our responsibility.
And our commitment to make it better.
For all of us.
Total, committed to better energy.
I need a great deal, the best price I can get. That's why I shop on Jumia. Quality you can trust. You can count on us. Shopping easier. Cash on delivery. When you shop on Jumia, when the rain or shine.
Get this
Benetton fan at an amazing price of 5,490 Naira at jumia.com.ng. Jumia, the online shop you can trust.
All over Nigeria, Ariel claims to give us the best stain removal in one wash. So we'll collect tough stains, red sand, fruit juice, chocolate ice cream, to see which gives the best stain removal in one wash. We'll wash one half with Ariel and the other with the other premium detergent. Did the other premium detergent remove these stains? And Ariel? Yes! Ariel, best stain removal in Nigeria in one wash.
You're watching NTA Network News. Now to the political scene. The Special Advisor to the President on Political Matters, Professor Ahmed Rufai, has again called on interested groups to rally round and work consciously for the emergence of President Goodluck Jonathan as president in the 2015 general elections. Professor Rufai made the appeal when he received the mass movement for Goodluck 2015. Gabriel Odu reports.
The Special Advisor to the President on Political Matters, Professor Rufai, noted that all groups that believe in the transformation drive of President Jonathan should now double efforts to work for his re-election.
Therefore, we look forward to ideas coming from your side, ideas that will also push forward the frontiers of democracy in this country.
The National Coordinator Mass Movement for Goodluck said there are good reasons to support President Jonathan.
If you talk about agriculture, it's an enormous success that the transformation has succeeded. Removing the supply of fertilizer from the middlemen has been a very great achievement.
Mass Movement for Goodluck is a non-governmental organization. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
Similarly, leaders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Borno State, led by the Minister of State Power, Mohammed Wakil, is strategizing on how to give President Goodluck Jonathan block vote in the state. The Borno State PDP is of the opinion that it is no longer business as usual, where some persons will sit on the fence during electioneering periods, but must participate actively to attract peace and development. Defectors to the PDP, including the former Borno State Governor, Senator Ali Modi Sharif, were received.
To accept and welcome our brothers, led by His Excellency distinguished Senator Ali Modi Sharif, the former Governor of Borno State, Alhaji Ibrahim Kasi Imam, and lots of others, followers from the APC to our party. Let our doors continue to remain open. Let us continue to show maturity in handling new development in the party. Let's continue to show our brotherhood, not to talk all of us as a family.
With this unity in Borno State, Mohammed Wakil says victory is sure for the party in both the federal and state for the PDP. Still on the political scene, in line with the guidelines of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) National Screening Committee, the National Screening Committee has commenced the screening of various aspiring candidates of the party in Benue State. Achigili Magaji reports that the exercise, which is hitch-free so far, has witnessed the screening of Governor Gabriel Suswam.
The screening exercise, which took place in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, witnessed impressive turnout of various aspirants who waited patiently for their turn. Governor Gabriel Suswam, after being screened, commended the smooth conduct of the exercise.
Exercises a lot of internal democracy. And that is why I'm here, where they are screening every other person to come for the screening. I've been screened, and they've given me my certificate clearing me to contest. And I expect that all of us who are in this contest should go through this process.
Other aspirants also expressed satisfaction with the process.
I believe the party will offer a level playing ground for everybody.
The exercise is going smoothly. There's nothing to worry about.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the committee, Ambassador Emmanuel Otiotio, explained that the exercise is to ensure that the party's guidelines are adhered to.
The aspirants are very cooperative, coming in with all the requirements that the party requires for them to scale through.
In Benue State, there are 42 aspirants for the House of Representatives, while 7 are vying for the Senate on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. In Makudi, Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has appealed to the APC lawmakers in the state to sheath their swords and reunite with their colleagues in the interest of the state. The governor made the appeal while addressing newsmen in Ado-Ekiti. Ayodeji Ogunshakin reports.
Mr. Fayose, who acknowledged the change in the leadership of the State Assembly, decried the insinuation that the executive instigated the crisis. He advised that what could cause disharmony in the state should be avoided and urged the APC lawmakers to reunite with their colleagues towards ensuring legislations that could bring about development of the state.
To advise his colleagues to come back home and work. They were elected here, congratulated the new speaker, and we are prepared to work with him.
Meanwhile, the new speaker, Mr. Dele Olugbemi, has solicited the support of the assembly staff to strengthen political and economic interests of Ekiti. Mr. Olugbemi emerged the new speaker of Ekiti State House of Assembly following the impeachment of Dr. Adewale Omirin in Ado-Ekiti. Ayodeji Ogunshakin, NTA News.
PDP governorship aspirant in Niger State, Umar Mohammed Nasko, has identified agricultural regeneration, improved educational infrastructure, youth development, and promotion of small-scale industries as areas of focus to take the state to the desired level. Omar Nasko, who made the observation while declaring his intentions, said the key elements of his administration will consolidate on the appreciable progress recorded by the present administration in the state. Mary Noel Barji reports.
State Governor Dr. Mazu Babangida Aliyu is among aspirants on the platform of the People's Democratic Party that have been cleared to contest the primaries of the party. Speaking after the screening exercise, Secretary of the panel, Sylvester Iboko, explained that aspirants not screened in Mina due to national assignments will be screened in Abuja.
Just about 2 of them has issues. Some did not register in this state, so if you are not a registered voter in Niger State, you cannot vote here.
If you say you are qualified or you have this certificate, you must show the evidence that you have it. You must show the evidence that you have been paying your dues as a member of the party. And all the work, whether you have been inducted at any time.
A total of 5 senatorial, 36 House of Representatives and 90 House of Assembly aspirants are contesting various positions in the party. In Mina, Dawuda Mohammed, NTA News.
That was actually the screening of PDP aspirants in Mina. We still have more reports on the pandemonium at the National Assembly. Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, Usman Bello Kumo, has adjourned the investigative hearing with the IGP on the crisis that erupted at the House of Representatives on the 20th of November 2014. The chairman took the decision following the inability of the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, to address the session due to exigencies of duties. National Assembly correspondent Ifayo Kafu has details.
Usman Bello Kumo read the communication from the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, informing the committee that he will be represented by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations. After wide consultations with other members of the committee, the chairman said the investigative hearing is adjourned till the 26th of November 2014.
Going by the constitution of the country that bestows powers on the parliament to invite any person in this country, and the laws of the federation that equally empowers the parliament to invite any person to answer questions or produce papers or documents, I think it will be very, very important for the IGP to appear in person.
Members of the committee said lawmakers would continue to ensure that the sanctity and independence of the legislature is protected no matter the situation. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
Stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Nasarawa State have called on the appropriate authorities to, as a matter of urgency, check the rising number of internally displaced persons in the state due to insecurity. Correspondent Anthony Forson reports that they made their position known at a media briefing in Abuja.
Chairman of the party in the state, Yunana Ilia, said their call is born out of the sincere desire to stop the wanton destruction of lives and property by unidentified persons.
They burn and destroy houses everywhere they go, shoot at sight, slaughter women, children and aged, as well as farmlands.
He said presently there are about 6,000 internally displaced persons taking refuge in different camps. They also called on the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to, as a matter of urgency, come to the aid of the internally displaced persons. Yunana Ila said they will support any form of emergency rule should the situation persist. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The history of the invention of television dates back to the 1920s and has over the years gone through a series of modifications that has made it a potent tool for mass communication. Nigeria has had its own fair share of the television evolution, as today is observed World Television Day, as declared by the United Nations. Correspondent Anthony Forson takes a look at the role of television in building peace and security.
Television, the most potent medium of communication, has always played a major role in bringing the world into people's lives and living rooms. Television today has a great influence on the world as it crosses all human boundaries with the capacity to change opinions and shape policies. And as the world marks yet another World Television Day, how has television helped in peace and conflict situations?
Television is a very powerful medium that we cannot neglect or underrate.
TV can be a very powerful instrument for bringing peace and security.
With digital revolution and empowered by deregulation through unprecedented diversity, does this pose any threat?
It doesn't pose any threat, but rather we should begin to think of how we take better advantage of this digital transition.
The power of television is such that it must be appreciated and respected.
With the power of television, if not properly controlled, it could do more harm than good. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And to further strengthen their partnership, the BBC Media Action has presented equipment to the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, for efficient service delivery. Chukunonso Moore reports that the event held at the NTA headquarters here in Abuja.
Editor of the BBC Media Action, Seamus Garriga, presenting the equipment to the DG of NTA, Shola Omole, says the gesture is in line with the organization's global grant project, which aims at poverty reduction and promotion of human rights in developing countries.
We're very pleased to donate this equipment, to present this equipment to NTA, to help NTA continue to provide its audiences with the governance-focused programming that they expect.
In his response, Mr. Omore reaffirmed NTA's commitment to a balanced reportage and programming.
NTA's platform is open to all Nigerians, to all shades of opinion. We're going to conduct that in a respectful atmosphere, in a decent atmosphere, with decorum.
The equipment includes 5 HP Elite desktop, 5 HP desktop monitors, 5 Sony handheld camcorders, 5 AKG microphones, 5 Sony MDR headphones, 5 Hoodman memory cards, as well as 5 camera bags. Chukunonso Moore, NTA News.
In another development, the new drive towards rebranding the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, to a world-class network with an improved salary structure has received the support and commendation of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Danladi Kifasi. This was when the management of the NTA, led by the Director General, Shola Omole, visited him in his office. Okwekweyon reports.
Mr. Danladi Kifasi described as innovative and creative the rebuilding process in NTA, noting that with its crop of staff, it can achieve world-class standards. He also expressed appreciation for the partnership enjoyed between NTA and his office, while promising to make good use of one of NTA's star programs, Good Morning Nigeria. Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Shola Omole, said with the new programs on air, Nigeria's pioneer television station is set to bring back viewership to Africa's largest television network while striving to become a global brand. Mr. Molly appealed to the head of service to look into the poor salary structure of NTA, whose staff, he noted, work assiduously every day and all through each year.
So we have created a new company called Integrated Television Services. We need to staff up this company so that they can be ready to do what they're going to do. The pay is a huge disincentive for us to be able to attract the right quality of staff. So, head of service, we are begging for your support in that direction as well to help shore up the morale and the motivation of NTA staff.
We are going to liaise with the budget office, Ministry of Finance, to see how we can get the money to support you.
The visit afforded the management the opportunity to interact closely with the head of civil service of the Federation. Oku Ekpeyong, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We now link up with Vera in Lagos for NCC's conferment exercise and some business news. Over to you now, Vera.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Failure to observe due process and certification has resulted in the clampdown on an automated car tracking system in GSM terminals by the enforcement team of the Nigerian Communications Commission in Lagos. Mr. Tollett completes the report.
When the enforcement...
We'll see if we can link up with Vera in the course of the bulletin. Moving on, the removal of subsidy on kerosene and duty-free shipment of cooking gas cylinders into Nigeria are necessary conditions if Nigeria must transit from the use of firewood to cooking gas and reap the benefits. Key players in the oil and gas sector made the submission at the 4th Nigeria Liquefied Petroleum Association annual conference held in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
With 3.1 million tons of gas produced annually, only 5% of the population currently uses cooking gas, while 56% uses firewood, with a attendant problem of deforestation, pollution-related health issues, and increase in child and mother mortality rate. Stakeholders in the sector, while sharing in the perceived fears of the people in the use of gas, which are safety, accessibility of product, and substandard gas cylinders, promised that these issues have been properly addressed. While providing solutions on how to encourage the use of cooking gas, key players in the sector, however, questioned the government's nonchalant attitude in the campaign.
Tariffs on cylinders are extremely high, logistic problems from NPA for the various jetties we have, and we really need to sit down with government, to engage with the government so that they understand what the problems are, because it is a solution to the kerosene problem that they have.
Kerosene subsidy distorts the real competitiveness of the two products. But there's also the need for intervention in infrastructure.
If this is achieved, over 36,000 primary jobs will be created, and the issue of open gas flaring will also be addressed. In Abuja, Mie Ogede, NTA News.
We've re-established contact with Vera in Lagos, so let's join Vera for stories making headlines in the Lagos area. Over to you now, Vera.
Thank you again, Elizabeth. Failure to observe due process and certification have resulted in the clampdown on an automated car tracking system in GSM terminals by the enforcement team of the Nigerian Communications Commission in Lagos. Mr. Tollett completes this report.
When the enforcement team of the Nigerian Communications Commission got to the premises of Ontel Network, the managing director of the company, having realized the enormity of our offense, went into hiding. Ontel Network was accused of operating and dealing in automated car tracking system without obtaining license from NCC.
This company, they are found to be providing two separate services that require two separate licenses. One, they are providing a tracking service for car tracking, including human being. I haven't seen their document before me or an application saying that they require to, they are requiring for a license to provide what they are doing now.
The company, according to the enforcement team, also breached the law by dealing in GSM terminals and fixed wireless phones without certification from the Nigerian Communications Commission.
We have written to ONTEL earlier on, being transparent regulator, giving them a deadline of October 16th last month. When by the provision of Section 31 of our Act is a criminal offense, subscribers should be mindful of who they are going to patronize. You have the right to ask for a license.
The NCC enforcement team later confiscated some of the terminals and car tracking devices while the business office was sealed and the owner taken away. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
And now to business news with Abdullahi Mohammed.
A very good evening and thanks for joining us on Business News. My name is Abdullahi Mohammed. The Nigerian Stock Exchange has signed a partnership agreement with the London Stock Exchange. The partnership is expected to encourage dual listing and opportunity for companies listed on the two exchanges to raise funds. The representatives of the two exchanges put pen to paper after a closed-door meeting in Lagos.
Actually signed.
This signing ceremony paved the way for several other issues to be formalized in order to harmonize some operations of the London and Nigerian stock exchanges. This will allow listed companies to take advantage of each other's strength for the benefit of the two economies.
And in London we have the largest capital market centre in the world. This agreement, which is very exciting for both sides, enables us to partner with the Nigerian Stock Exchange to help Nigerian companies raise capital both from Nigerian investors but also from the international investor community in London. As we've already seen, there are some very exciting developments, for example, with Settlers in recent months.
Another area that we're looking at is capacity building of Nigerian capital market operators as we roll out new products. So we're looking to really enhance trading opportunities within the framework of this agreement.
The representatives of the two exchanges pledged to work out the modalities of the partnership, while players on the floor of the Nigerian stock optimistic into Africa's biggest economy. And that's Business News tonight. Thanks for being part of it. The news continues shortly.
See the Nigerian child, really see them, but not in this present squalor, nor for the 10.5 million who may never become architects, engineers, teachers, artists, or rocket scientists. See in them the possibilities for humanity. See in them the infinite potential that they bear. See in them all that any nation needs to regain or even surpass her past glory. True greatness lies in the education of all, regardless of race, age, class, religion, or gender. A sound foundation in education.
Africa. Some see it as a land of challenges. We see it as a land of endless opportunities, where success comes from hard work and determination, and having a strong partner. Boxer, engineered to be stronger, engineered to last longer, because to make it in Africa, you need to be stronger for longer. Boxer, made stronger to last longer.
Johnny S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved.
Hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power Oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats. And contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping,
Power Oil, healthy for you.
Form the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
The wife of the Vice President, Hajia Amina Namadi Sambo, has urged women in the law and other professions to take inspirations from the success story of the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Aloma Mariam Mukhtar, and aspire to reach the peak of their careers. The wife of the Vice President was speaking at a dinner in honor of the retired Chief Justice of Nigeria, organized by the Federal Judicial Service Commission in Abuja.
The wife of the Vice President, who described Justice Aloma Mukhtar as a judicial icon, noted that the retired Chief Justice of Nigeria has worked effectively and efficiently to raise the bar of integrity and credibility of the nation's judiciary, thereby restoring public confidence in the system.
Her performance as the Chief Judicial Officer of our great country has further justified the confidence reposed in her by Mr. President, who has displayed an unquantifiable trust and confidence in the ability of women to lead and contribute to the development of this nation.
Hajia Amina Sambo said Justice Aloma has proved that hard work, commitment, dedication and professionalism are key to success, and urged other women to emulate the retired Chief Justice of Nigeria. The new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, who went down memory lane, said Justice Aloma Mukhtar has done well in the judicial reforms and pledged to build on the good works of his predecessor. A visibly elated Justice Mukhtar thanked all stakeholders for their support and said she has had a fulfilling career built on equity, justice and fair play.
Anything that reeks of injustice pains me, and I try as much as possible to rectify this.
The retired Chief Justice, who turned 70 on her retirement, was presented with various gifts and birthday cakes to mark the occasion.
We wish the retired former Chief Justice of Nigeria well. Now, the need for both those in leadership positions and the led to be patient and believe in destiny is the focus of this Friday's sermon at the Legislative Mosque, Abuja. Correspondent Abdullahi Garowanukudu reports.
Imam Muhammad Nuru Khalil, quoting from Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad peace be upon him, says society is built on faith and the only solution to societal problem is enshrined in the religion of Allah. Giving examples to the current challenges in Nigeria, the Imam advised leaders to live exemplary life, believe in destiny, and the led continue to be patient and prayerful.
Many people are unhappy because of the present situation. And many people lack patience. They want to see things done overnight. And we think it is not proper that way. And that is why we look at the Quran. In chapter 2, we find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala urging his allies to live a life because he's a light, because he is going to guide them to the light. And when you are living in light, not in darkness, you will live a happy life.
The Imam led in a special prayer for continued peace and unity in the country. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
We'll now take another break to bring you some messages. When we return, a bit on the foreign scene and sports. We'll be right back.
The nationwide Cycle 2 4th Cohort National Training for Science and Mathematics Teachers will be conducted by the National Teachers Institute for the following states: Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Benue, Imo, and Yobe State. Arrival date: Sunday, 23rd of November 2014. Opening ceremony: Monday, 24th of November 2014. Time: 11 a.m. prompt. The training proper commences Monday, 24th of November to Thursday, 4th of December 2014. Time: 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Venue: National Center for Strengthening Mathematics and Science Education, NTA Headquarters, Kaduna Zaria Expressway, Rigachukun, Kaduna. Announcer: Dr. Aminullah Sherehu, OON Mutawalin Zazo, Director General and Chief Executive, NTA. To make Nigeria great.
Weekend Deal, 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. Africa's biggest deal.
Weekend Deal.
Johnny M2, 28 days standby time. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved.
Bragging is not President Goodluck Jonathan's style, so you'd hardly hear him brag about all the great things he is doing for Nigeria. He wouldn't tell you he's the first president to privatize power, to give us a constant supply of electricity and economic prosperity. Soon your electricity will be like your mobile phones, 24 hours, 7 days a week. He won't brag about security, new roads, new rail, or new airports, eliminating corruption in agriculture and saving $25 billion per year, mass housing projects, or that our economy is growing at the fastest rate in the world. He wouldn't brag about any of it because he knows there's a lot more to be done. Mr. President, right on. We that are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Mali records 5th Ebola virus death, and United States Vice President Joe Biden, during his visit to Ukraine, warns Russia of more isolation if it continues to fuel the Ukrainian crisis. These and more on Global Tidbits with Chimdima Ndubisi.
A Malian doctor that treated an Ebola patient who activated the second bout of Ebola virus infection in the country has died. And religious worship turned violent in Zimbabwe when thousands of worshippers in a haste to leave the stadium, venue of a Pentecostal program, caused stampede, resulting in the death of at least 11 people. On Iran's nuclear program, the United States Secretary of State, John Kerry, and Iran's Foreign Minister left the nuclear talks in Vienna without reaching an agreement, even as the November 24th deadline draws near. The United Nations says Iran has not explained its nuclear energy program, while Iran is insisting the program is for power and not for weaponry. On migration matters, illegal immigrants in the U.S. have cause to smile as President Barack Obama bypassed the Congress to allow about 5 million illegal migrants in the nation apply for 3-year work permit. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Talking sports now, the newly elected Nigeria Olympic Committee President Habu Gumel has called on all stakeholders to Makinde.
The newly elected president of the Nigerian Olympic Committee, Habu Gumel, says his comeback will be for the development of sports in the country. The International Olympic Committee member defeated the incumbent, Sani Ndanusa, 19 to 17 votes to re-emerge as the NOC president for the next 4 years. The grievances that followed the September 30th election, which ushered in the Amaju Pinnick-led board of the Nigeria Football Federation, seem unabated. Appellants challenging the emergence of the new NFF board maintains that the electoral process was a clear contradiction of the stipulated electoral laws, while calling on concerned stakeholders not to interfere with the release of the long-awaited findings of the Electoral Appeals Committee.
My petition against the NFF election is not a personalized thing. This thing is a patriotic petition done strictly with the objective to stop impunity in our football.
The English Premier League, as well as other football leagues, resume across Europe this weekend. In London, Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho faces a tricky tie against Alan Ivan's West Brom as the marquee fixture of the weekend is slated for the Emirates, with Arsenal taking on Manchester United. In the Bundesliga, defending champions Bayern Munich take on Hoffenheim. Paderborn aim to compound the woes of Borussia Dortmund, while the Cologne vs Hertha Berlin match will be live on the NTA Sports 24 channel at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Mascots from the 1980, 2004, 2008 and 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games are now in Rio, ahead of Monday's launch of the Rio 2016 mascots. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And just before we go, remember it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And that's NTA Network News. We thank you for your time. From all of us here, it's good night.